The cartoon is collapsing. The cartoon is collapsing. Funny title. On the situation in America in a little bit. It's a good title, I think. The cartoon is collapsing. The cartoon is collapsing. I mean, after the presidential debate in America in 2020 between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, I think that we could say that the cartoon is collapsing. I mean, the cartoon, which is the conception that we have of that, or the illusion that we have that that there is a certain level of worthiness to the to the American political situation. It's just a cartoon, you know. And of course, every narrative is a cartoon. Every narrative is a cartoon, and every cartoon is a language game, and every language game is a cartoon. So everything conceptual is a cartoon in a way, you know. It's a construction of thought and language. And yes, so everything conceptual is a cartoon. And the political system in America is a cartoon because it is a conceptual construction. You know, it's an idea basically manifested and materialized into what the political system is constituted of in the real life in America or in any other country in this world. So everything is a cartoon, and the cartoon is a cartoon because it is a language game, because it is a conception, because it is something conceptual, it is an idea, and that idea we materialize into the real world. And to say that the cartoon is collapsing in America, that is just the right thing to say, because that's what happens, you know. So it's a sadness, you know. It's just sad to see it, but the good thing, the really helpful, the really good thing about seeing it displayed like this, exposed like this, is that we see that this is just not worthy. This is just not substantial. It's not good enough. We need leaders who are educated. We need leaders who has a certain substantial knowledge. We need leaders who really can serve the public. We need leaders who can transform society. We need leaders who can be the significant leadership that the world and society and the particular nation needs. And America doesn't have that. I would never dream to say this in public if it was not important to say it, because we don't have time anymore to mumble jumble, you know. We want to improve this world, and then sometimes we have to say the truth. And so what I can say is this: people protect their own narratives, and we defend our own narratives, you know. If I have a narrative in my life, I will defend it because that narrative is important to me. And this is the human activity. That was a sweet little poem, you know. It is the truth. That's what people do. We defend our narratives. The psychological activity of the human being is practically to defend and to justify our own narratives. We develop our narratives, and then we justify them and we defend them. That's what we do. And it's sad, which means that we're all donkeys in a way, you know. I mean, it's there's divine aspects to the human being. We have the divine thing inside of us. It's great. We have so much beautiful and so valuable, finer resources inside ourselves. But we are also people or beings who protect the narratives and the stories that we create. And of course, Mike Pence is that, and he's only that. He's nothing but that. He's only that, just as Donald Trump also is only that. A sane person or an educated person would not only defend his own narrative, a sane person would also accept other people's points of view and see that, all right, maybe another narrative has relevance too, and maybe it's important to juxtapose two different narratives. Maybe it's important to see the value of two different or three different or four different narratives together, and to milk the cow in a way, to get the resources that we need from each narrative, from each perspective, from each language game, from each perspective, from each platform of investigation, from each approach to the world, so to speak, and to knowledge. When you defend your narratives in the way that Mike Pence defends his narratives, then that's going to hurt parts of society. It's going to hurt parts of the population. It's going to be very unhelpful. It's going to be damaging to the development of new beneficial structures. It's going to be difficult to release and activate new potential when you have people like Mike Pence in a leadership role. But in any case, so the cartoon is collapsing. America is collapsing as a political system. And that's a good thing. And the point of this talk is to say that when cartoons collapse, when the cartoon is collapsing somewhere in this world, in any country, in any regime, in any dictatorship in a way, and my point is the World Senate. What my point is that if we had a World Senate, we could have a substantial institution. We could have a powerhouse that could educate people like this. We could have people who had higher authority than Donald Trump and tell him that, hey, look, you sweet little girl, it's time for you to wake up now, right? So now we're going to talk politics together, you and I. Do you understand that? All right, now we're going to sit down for 5 minutes and we're going to talk about stuff. If you understand it, then we will see a little bit change in your attitude and we will see a little bit change in your strategy. If you don't understand it, then the World Senate is going to activate some kind of sanction against your position. We should have a World Senate like that. And that should, a World Senate that people should be able, an institution with high mandate and with substantial political prowess, power and knowledge and wisdom should be able to influence and modify. The World Senate should be able to modify silly things, damaging things. Countries who are not able to take care of the country in a beneficial way. Regimes that are simply not working for the people. Regimes that are not working for society. Regimes that is not helpful and beneficial and good and servicing to the population as a whole, to protect and nurture and strengthen the health of the nation. So that's what the World Senate should be, and it should come in and modify every situation that simply needs help, every situation that needs correction, every situation that needs to be modified in a beneficial way when it comes to attitude, knowledge, understanding, and strategy. Strategy is, of course, the most important thing, but you cannot get a good strategy unless you have the best possible knowledge. Strategy is a result of knowledge and attitude. And that's why it's so important to have and find good leaders in the world. And that's also why it's so difficult, because so many people are career people, and you cannot find people who are substantial when it comes to real strategy based on knowledge. in the career segment of politicians. So that's just how that is. So the cartoon is collapsing. And it's a funny thing. But it's a funny thing, and it's good that it's getting exposed, and it's good that people see that there's no point any longer to respect that cartoon. We need better people than this. We need better leaders than this. We need, and if we are so stupid as to elect people like this to control the earth, to control the globe, to control the world, to control international affairs, if we are so stupid as to do that, then we have to establish a world senate who can modify the leaders that we elect, because they are simply not worthy of their position as leaders, because they're not good enough, they're not clever enough, they're not deeply substantial enough as leaders. So it's funny to see when cartoons collapse, but it's also very sad, and it's pitiful, and it's damaging, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. So many people are going to get hurt, and it's really, 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 really sad. And but America has so much talent, and the reason why America has so much talent is because there's only one thing that means anything in America, and that is fame. Fame is more important than God. Fame is more important than French fries. Fame is more important than hamburgers in America. And that says something. So fame is the most important thing in America, and because fame is the most important thing, more important than money. Usually money is the most important thing around the world, but in America, fame is actually more important than money. That's the secret of understanding America, that the thing that makes America tick is the fact that fame is actually it's actually even more important than money. So you have fame on top and then money on number two. Usually it's the other way around. In other countries, it's money on top as number one and then fame is number two. But in America, it's different. It's fame on number one and money on number two. And that's why there's so many talents. That's why there's so many talents in America, because everyone wants to be famous. So every actor wants to be the best actor, and every singer wants to be the best singer. And that's how talents emerge. That's how you develop talents. And that's great for America, because you get a lot of talents. The professors are talented, the scientists are talented, the priests are talented, the therapists are talented, the comedians are extremely talented. You get talent because fame is so important. To do your best, to be divine in a way, as human stuff, as human talent. That's just the most important thing. So America is very lucky in that sense, that it has so much talent, because fame is so important. So fame is the idea of fame is the machine, is the engine that produces all of this talent. But when they don't have a political system that can carry this machine, when they don't have a political system that can embrace and carry and organize this machine of America, then the problem arises. And the political machine in America is not a machine that truly can take care of the greater machine of America. And that's why the cartoon is collapsing. The cartoon is collapsing because the political machine is not capable of taking care of the bigger engine of America.